Hello and welcome back. Yes, it's been a while, and because of that I thought, let's just have a bit of a chatty day, a bit of a catch up. I'll make some chicken soup, Jennifer Garner style. Jennifer Garner following Ina Garten. Yeah, that's a bit of a tongue twister, isn't it? Anyway, well, it is for me today. Obviously I have a need for more coffee. Anyway, that's what we're going to do, and we're going to nip into the kitchen and get that done, but we've got a bit of housekeeping to do first. So what's been going on? Well, we've had, another couple of lockdowns and all of those things that sort of beat away at you. And then a couple of weeks ago, my son, who lives in Africa, in Zambia, contracted COVID. Well, actually his whole little family did. Thankfully his wife and my granddaughter, their little girl, recovered quite well. It's been a slower thing for my son. So honestly, I haven't been, well, I am again now, but I haven't been sleeping. I was, as any mother around the world, and so many around the world have had to deal with this. It's just that he's 11,000 kilometers away. It's just a parent thing. I was stressed by it completely, and while he was as reassuring as he could be, he was very sick. So that, thankfully, he seems to be on the mend and coming back to his normal self, which is really good. He had actually already had one of his vaccine shots, well, he and his wife, so he was probably slightly protected, which is a very good thing. So I'm making myself chicken soup because I need chicken soup. It's one of those things, isn't it, when we on a cold wintry day. And I saw this one being made on Jennifer Garner's real, what does she call it, her pretend cooking show, and I thought, hey, that's got a different twist to it that I'd like to try. So that's what we'll do right now. Okay, I'm in the kitchen, you know the routine. Not using the Instant Pot today. Instead, I put everything out here pretty well. I'm just going to put it in my big pot and cook it the old-fashioned way. So what do I have? I have most of a leftover chicken, a couple of carrots, a couple of celery sticks, and an onion. Classic mirepoix. Some garlic, probably not that much. Fresh thyme because I have it. Not fresh oregano because I didn't have fresh oregano. And some honey, oil, lemons, and apple cider vinegar, and 2 boxes of stock because, yes, I still don't have that lovely Ina Garten classic chicken stock sitting in my freezer. Haven't quite got there. Been a long couple of weeks, I tell you. So here we go. These are the ingredients, and they're all going in there. I think this can officially be called a chop and chat. I'm not quite really sure. Anyway, I'll take the lid off that. So, what else has been going on? I had a major phone catastrophe. That was sort of funny, not funny, because sometimes when your phone becomes a catastrophe, it actually calls 000 for you, which is our version of 911, or I don't know what you use in the UK, but anyway, that was that was less than fabulous. So I have a new phone, all the things that happened the last couple of weeks. So here I go, ready for a mid-year reset. Anybody else out there ready for a reset? And it's not going to be that sort of classic, oh gosh, set your goals, how you're going to get them and all of that. I think for me it's definitely a mindset thing. It's sort of reassessing all sorts of things, like having fun, enjoying life, because boy, the last few months have been, well, months, it's well over a year now, have been less than fabulous. I'm going to use my little buzzy thing that I love and everybody else likes too. I fear it's falling apart. It was incredibly, I won't say cheap, let's call it politely, we'll call it inexpensive. And so, so I'm ready for it, absolutely ready for a reset. Get my sort of life back on a different sort of path. People say, oh, retirement, and I go, oh God, no, I don't really want that. Well, I'm not sure if I can afford that, but I definitely don't want it. And I'm sure there are a lot of others like that too. Maybe a bit too much, but at least it's all small. I don't get big chunks. Because celery can be a bit stringy if it's allowed to get a bit out of control. Right, what's next? Onions. Have a quick cry. yeah, so once, you know, we thought, oh, well, we'll be all retired and everything will be fabulous and we'll be able to jet around the world and go on holidays and do all of those things, or maybe not. Maybe that had no interest for you whatsoever. But, you know, I have friends around the world that I would like to go and visit and catch up with again. You know, that would have been lovely, but, you know, it's not happening, is it? So what do you say? Well, am I going to sit around and knit for grandchildren? Yes, I have 2 new grandchildren on the way, which is fabulous. No, not twins, just little cousins born, will be born a couple of months apart, which is glorious. But I'm not going to spend the rest of my life, you know, knitting, for goodness sake. So I've decided to take myself off the retirement list and get back into life, I think, for me. Because otherwise, without productivity, without something that I look forward to doing in the mornings, it's going to be a long, long retirement. Because we can't travel, we can't really do many of the things that we thought we would do. So, well, that I thought I would do. Let's just do things that I'm going to make myself feel joyous again. Okay, there we are. I've used that little garlic thing again that works really well. I didn't use all of the garlic, I used 3 cloves. That should do, I don't want it too garlicky. Right, quick clean up, smush it all across into the sink. I can clean it from in a minute. Right, classic mirepoix, carrots, onion, celery, garlic in this case, so it's 4 not 3, and a little bit of oil, and we'll get that started. Just going to get it to soften and simmer. Some of the pieces, oops, that one's a bit big, that one can come out. Don't want anybody choking on my soup. It's starting to make the right sounds. Into this I will add, and I obviously not yet, you know, when you don't take the tops off things you wonder why they don't come out. Oh, the holes are too small. Alright, I give up. And put some on my hand, pop it in, much simpler. And I have some fresh thyme that I've rinsed, and I'll just pull it off its stalks and pop that in. Now, this is where the first change comes. Oh, are you steaming up? Are you feeling foggy? Hang on. I've moved you back so you don't steam up, hopefully. You did get a bit steamy last time. I don't do steamy videos, believe me. No way. Okay, so that's in that. Now, first thing that's a little bit unusual, and the Ina Garten one uses white wine vinegar, but I'm going to use apple cider just because it's such a great flavour. The idea is you put in, you know, a tablespoonish. That looked like a tablespoonish to me. And that's the first thing that I've not ever done before into a chicken soup. The next step happens over here while that quietly sizzles away. Okay, hopefully you can see. Move that out of the way. Move those out of the way. Not used anymore. Right, what we do here is put in 2, well, I'm going to say 2 lemons. It's about a 1/4 of a cup of lemon juice, which yeah, interesting, into a soup. That's good. I'm sure that lots of people do this already. Gee, these are good lemons. I love this time of the year. All the citrus is so good. These are from the backyard. Yum, yum. Come on, squeeze. Yes, that one will come out. Don't waste any of this. Right, that's probably 1/4 of a cupish. Rinse. Now, for the next little bits, yum yum, I'll put those aside to do something with later. The next one is 2 tablespoons of oil. Okay. And the next one is a tablespoon of honey. I know, in a soup. Who would have thought it? Now this is cooking, not baking, remember, so we're allowed to have sort of general sort of sizings in cooking. It's not chemistry. This is a clean finger. I have just washed it. Okay, clean finger takes the honey off. Honey goes in my mouth. That is beautiful honey. It is New South Wales snow gum, which literally are up in the mountains, and they're beautiful sort of grey, I was going to say twisted, but that's the wrong word, sculptural trees, and absolutely stunning. I'll see if I can find a photo I can put them in. Oops, sorry about that, bit of noise. Okay, we go with a bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, not too much. I don't want the strong peppery flavour. Is that all? Have I done everything? Here they go, the boxes of juice. Not an ad for Campbell's, just the ones that are in my local store. Okay, mix this up and get ready to see if it transforms chicken soup into something, whoops, more fabulous than it already is. Back to the steamy side and turn it down a bit. That might help. Oh, I know, hang on, what? Something else was meant to have gone in off first, and that's the chicken. I forgot the chicken. Not to worry, the chicken's in now. It's going to absorb all those yummy flavours. Knew there was something I'd forget. I always, well, it's not sort of forgotten, but it's just not in quite as early as it was in the Ina Garten one. So, at this point, I've turned it down a little bit, but I really don't want it to be. I'm going to pour this in to the middle, scoop all the goodness out. At this point, apparently you're meant to reduce it. So, heat goes back up. We'll get this sizzling. There you go, it started sizzling, so it's going to reduce down a little bit. I'm sure it's not meant to reduce too much, but that's something I've never added. Lemon, honey, a little bit more oil, and of course previously the apple cider vinegar. Those are things new to my chicken soup, and let's see if this is going to become, you know, the gold standard. I suspect it probably is. Okay, I'm ready. Are you ready? It's not very elegant, and it makes a dreadful sound. Here come 2 boxes of chicken soup. It's a chicken stock, and it's look, it's as good as you can buy in a box. How about that? So that's 8 cups. 8 cups, 2 litres of chicken stock. If you were just going to be serving this sort of straight away to quite a few people, by the look of it, then that's when you'd put in something like maybe an orzo or some form of pasta, any form of pasta, to sort of bulk it up a little bit. But if I want to put pasta in, I tend to cook it first and then add it to the serving size as I'm doing it, because I don't want it in there getting really mushy. And I think I'm going to leave that to cook for a little while to sort of get all those flavours smushing together, but I am going to do a taste test. Okay, taste test time. I was going to do it and then I thought, hang on, am I close enough? I was going to do it and then I thought, no, you'd probably like to see my face, see if I'm telling fibs. Oh man, it's pretty good. It's all there. The lemon takes away any of that sort of bland chickenness. Is that a word? I don't think so. I don't think there is a word called chickenness. Anyway, the lemon sharpens that. The honey makes sure that it's got a sort of a slight softening of that sharpness of the lemon. The apple cider vinegar is, I can't taste it. I think it's probably covered by the lemon, but it probably draws a lot of goodness. Well, it'll add some goodness and it'll draw a bit more of the flavour out of the vegetables. So hey, that hasn't actually had time to cook and I'm making decisions about it. Yeah, it's good. I like that addition. It's rather yummy. I'm not straight. Why am I not straight? Anyway, still not straight. Don't worry, I'll just be crooked. Okay, that's going to cook. I'm going to go pop out and get a nice fresh loaf of some kind to have with it, and have that as my lunch. And I'll go out into this rain, and no, I won't walk in the rain out to the shops because I don't want to get soaked. Honestly, does anybody else have this thing that they, you know, if it's raining, you don't want to go out and get your hair soaked? And I know I need a haircut, but you know, all of that aside, I still can't bear getting soaked when the day is still underway, because I have to do something about it, and I'm just not going to do that, not at the moment. See you in a little while. Well, I'm back from that slight jaunt out. It's much later now, practically dark at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I was just going to show you what I do with the orange peels. I've used, or lemon rather, this is lemon and a mandarin peel. This is the lemon I used in the soup, and I'm just going to top it up with a good strong white vinegar, good old swash around in there, and I'll leave it for about a week, I suppose, and then it's strain it out and turn it into cleaner. It's a great lemon scented and lemon cleaning additive to the white vinegar, which is great. It smells good, and it's about a 1-to-1 mix with dilution with water, just in an ordinary spray bottle. It's kind of pretty, you know. I could pretend they were preserved lemons. So that's done. Now what else is there to talk about? Aha, I have something to show you. This is something I've been working on since I learned I was going to have a new grandbaby, and now I've learned I'm having 2 new grandbabies, but anyway, that means I have to make another one. But this was the pattern, or the colourway that my son and his wife chose for their baby. It's a cot blanket, and yes, it's the Hudson Bay blanket colourway. So I've nearly finished, and it's basically a cot size. So it's the sort of thing that you know, little people can snuggle up with for a long time to come, hopefully. Got lots of warmth in there. I am of course knitting in wool. I don't knit in anything else. Well, I mean, I'll knit in fancy things like alpaca and those sorts of things, but cashmere, you know, with cashmere in it and things like that. But basically, for a good plain blanket, albeit with great colours, yeah, I'm pleased with that. Lots of little tails to sew in, but that's the worst of it. And honestly, I'm about here, from here to here, and to the other end from finishing it. So I'm pleased with that. This is future me. The next day, I've just finished editing, and can't find the outro anyway, so I'm going to just refilm it and say goodbye to you properly. So the next thing I'll be doing is my mid-year reset, so you know, subscribe, come along if that interests you, and I hope that wherever you are and whatever you're doing, that you're having a lovely day, and yeah, come and join me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. I can't let you go, baby.